What's up, man? It's Philthy Rich, man. I just jumped off the porch with 30 Glove Bastard.
Murder Dubs, 35th High Street, Seminary, 6985.
All right, y'all. So we got the legendary Philthy Rich with us off the porch today. How you feeling?
I'm good. How you?
I am doing good. I see you got your friend right here, right next to you. Tell us about that.
Oh, it's my boy Just Bang right here.
Just
FOD,
Bang.
yeah.
Welcome to the porch. It's a pleasure to have you. Now, when I was researching you, I'm gonna just let you know now, you got a crazy ass story. Like, your story is so crazy, and I really want to talk to you about that. Starting off with you being from the Bay Area, Oakland to be specific. So
Yeah.
talk to us about what it was like for you growing up in Oakland.
I don't know why I always say like the normal, because I done been around so many different kids in Oakland and like their story be the same. But I done met other people throughout the world and their story wasn't the same. So I would say kind of like typical, normal for like an Oakland kid growing up. Single parent home, you know, trials, tribulations, struggle. I feel like, you know, that's make you who you are though. Cause I feel like if you ain't really went through nothing, then you don't know where you're going.
So whenever you did, like, you know, meet new people and they kind of discussed their childhood with you, and then did you ever have a moment where you kind of paused within yourself and was like, dang, the way I grew up was not normal?
Yeah. But you know, the people that I might have talked to in their childhood was different.
Mm-hmm.
You know, didn't come from the hood or, you know, grew up both parents, school, pushed to college, job, all that type of stuff. Like, we grew up not wanting a job. We grew up like, you know, looking up to, you know, all the dudes on the corner, trying to be like them, that's getting money and the fly cars and the women. So it was kind of different.
And what would you say growing up in Oakland really teaches you as a man?
Man, like I done seen so many different things as in just taking losses and bouncing back. You gotta be strong to survive. Can't be weak. Any type of weakness they gonna eat. You know what I'm saying? Man, and that also just made me want to be more in my kids' life.
Right,
You
yeah.
know, because that's the reason why I started rapping, due to having kids and stuck on the block, and we in tour with these niggas, and I just got out of jail, and I gotta stay away, search clause. Next time I go back to jail, I'm going to the pen. So I was like, man, I gotta do something different with my life.
So what would you say are some things that you're instilling into your kids now so that they won't go into the wrong path?
Never take a dollar for granted, or just always feel like, okay, cool, they daddy gonna take care of it. Cause like I do charity events in the neighborhood and I make them come out with me and give back to the kids, to the less fortunate, so they can see like, okay, every kid ain't like you. Every kid ain't, you know, got a father or mother in their life that's successful or even to do for you, let alone do for other people. So never take that for granted.
And how old are your kids?
18 and 16.
18, 16. Have
Yeah.
you ever told them about like your life and how it was for you growing up?
Here and there, yeah. I mean, they hear stories. They hear stories from the dudes from my block when they be around. They hear stories from their mothers, their grandmothers, stuff like that. But I don't promote that
Right.
to them. Like I don't want them to be like me. I want them to be better than me. So like I don't have them hanging on the corner with me. I don't promote any type of negativity to my kids.
I love that.
Yeah.
Now, I know the part of Oakland that you were from specifically, they nicknamed it Kill Zone.
Yeah.
So talk to us about the history with that name.
Actually, I think the OPD named it that. It was like on the maps or whatever, due to at the time being there was so much crime going on that like they didn't even want to come over there, because like police was getting shot at. I remember one day somebody had got shot over there, and like I said, not to promote the negativity, but you asked the question. So
Yeah.
somebody was shot over there, and the police didn't even want to come.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because like prior to that, when they came, they had ended up getting shot at. So
it was basically like I don't want to say a free world, but
yeah,
like,
like that's the kill zone. Like anything
Yeah.
could happen. You know, that's the kill zone. Like anything could happen over there. Like.
Now I do know, and I did want to talk to you about this, that you really had to be the man of the house at a very early age.
Yeah, I was the oldest child. So my mom had 5 kids. So you know, and I was her first. So everything that she installed in the other kids, she learned with me. And you know, I was just rebelling, no father figure around, trying to find my way, doing whatever. Like I said, the normal kid I would think would be doing, like in Oakland, you know,
Right.
especially coming from the hood. So, especially growing up in poverty, not having much, you know, but wanting more, always wanting more.
So what type of toll do you think it takes on a kid, especially a young man, to take in like older responsibilities that an adult would be taking on?
I feel like it makes you grow up early. Like I feel like you have to be the man. Like, you know, all of my siblings were younger than me, so like they kind of looked at me like as the father figure of the house or whatever. And then I think you just grow up early. You know how you see little kids and they just be like before they time, or they already be grown, but they still young, you know, so like that, like, so, like I got off the porch like 11, 12, like caught my first case in like San Leandro, like stealing bikes, you know what I'm saying, had to go to like juvenile hall, had classes and fines and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying, so, not, like I said, once again, not to promote that, but that's just where I came from, that's part of my story, you know, so we look back and like, man, I came a long way.
And being 11 years old, like going into juvenile, when I be thinking about that, I be like, dang, you are still a baby.
Yeah,
like,
but I really wasn't a baby.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I grew up early, so at that time I was doing way more than that, you know, so that's just what I got caught for.
And you said basically that you jumped off the porch at 11. What would you say was like some major life lessons that you learned with your time off the porch?
Life lessons. Like at that time, no lie, like I had to fend for myself. So I'm really like, I'm at my partner house over here. I'm at a family member house over here. I might not even be home. I might not even be coming home. Like I said, I just had to grow up early. Like that was a life lesson for me, because I really didn't experience, like I said, as I met other people, the normal childhood. Like at that time, okay, I was rebelling, kicked out the house. I ended up staying with my teacher from like 4th to 5th grade at E. Morris Cox. 6th grade come around, I get shipped to Westlake. No, I go to Amherst first, and I get shipped to Westlake. And after Westlake, 9th grade, I turned like 15, mom shipped me to Job Corps. So it's like, I've been bouncing around all my life, you know what I'm saying? So it's nothing been just solid, you know what I'm saying? So, and every time I go to these different places, I gotta learn to fend for myself.
Now, you just mentioned that you stay with a teacher. What was it that made that teacher take you in?
I mean, I was always advanced, like in class or whatever. She took a liking to me, I took a liking to her, and she knew my struggle, like what I was going through or whatever. So, like I said, I was my mom's first child, so whatever she learned with me was like, she was just learning it before she passed it down to the other kids. So like I said, I was rebelling. I remember kids would come to the house with their parents and be like, you know, your son robbed my son for his shoes type, you know, like stuff like just, you know, just I really feel like it's being a normal child in Oakland, you know what I'm saying, getting into all type of different stuff. But like I said, no father figure around, so I was just rebelling, and she kicked me out the house. And when I went to school, I told my teacher, and she let me stay with her.
Right.
Yeah.
And one thing that you mentioned, like not having a father figure, I don't think people really think about that when it comes into play. Like, I don't think people really think.
Yeah, because
like,
I feel like things might have been different. Might have been, might have been better. I might have took a different route, So I had to go to the streets to teach me how to drive. Go to the streets to teach me how to play basketball or sports or whatever. I learned that there. I didn't learn that, in the household, whatever it was.
Okay, not to throw the topic off, but I think that the learning how to drive stories be funny as hell.
Yeah.
So how was your experience when you learned how to drive? Like, how did that
My
even
auntie,
go?
actually, it's crazy. Me and my auntie just talked about this the other day. She was taking me to the DMV to get my license or to fill out the paperwork so I could take the driver test or whatever, and she told me to go outside and warm up the car. So me, I get in the car, she like in this tight parking spot, and I try to back the car out, and I didn't really know what I was doing. So when she come outside, like the car like literally stuck me like between 3 different cars. I come outside yelling like, "Boy, I told you to warm the car up. I didn't tell you to drive the car." You know what I'm saying? So, I always did me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, going back to seeing what you had to go through at an early age and having no choice but to be in the streets to learn certain things, and you then go back to today where the streets are glorified really heavy on social media within the youth. What would you say is your perspective on that?
I feel like a lot of artists that's not in the streets glorify it for a perception that they not. Because if the dudes that come from the street want to get out, they didn't want to go back or want to be something they not. Like if I chose to be in the street, I would choose not to be. Like between the two, like if I could, like I had to be. It's a difference between like somebody choosing, okay, I want to go be a street dude, but you're really not. You know what I'm saying? Or this is all I know, and I have, this is my life, and I have to deal with it. So, like they kind of like misleading to where it's like, I'm a street dude, like you still stuck in the streets. Like, come on, man. It's like it's time to elevate and grow and get up out of there. You get what I'm saying? Because all the dudes I knew that was in the streets, they always wanted bigger and better and wanted to get out the streets, not to be stuck in them.
Now, what would you say was a really turning point for you to kind of leave the streets alone?
It was when I tried to start rapping. I had my second son. I didn't really see myself going nowhere, but either the statistic, either dead or jail. So it's like I need to do something different.
Now, when you did you even think of becoming a rapper earlier in life, or was it just something you kind of just jumped into?
I don't know what made me pick rap.
Really?
I really don't. I just know I wanted to do something different after I had my second child, but I don't know what actually made me pick rap. Like, I was just like, I was gonna give it a try. And then my neighborhood, I started seeing different rappers come around. I'm like, man, these dudes don't be outside. These dudes don't be in the street. Like, I don't know them. Like,
yeah.
I could do what they do. Like, you know what I'm saying? That was like my mentality in the beginning of it.
Now, when exactly would you say you really stepped your foot into the music game and took it serious?
When I was released, 2010. I released my first project in 2008. I had to turn myself in 2009. I got out in 2010. And I've been on a straight and narrow ever since.
Now, it was a story that you told during an interview where it was like a lady came, after listening to your music, she came to your hood and wanted a picture with you. Yeah,
it was she was driving, but it was like 5 or 6 kids in the car with her. And we was on the block. And then at the time being, we was in tour with some guys up the street. Some Hispanic people, so they was all Hispanic in the car, so we didn't know what time they was on. So when they rode past and they was looking, like everybody had got in position. So when they made the left, and they made I'm like, hold on, like something just didn't seem right because I didn't feel that vibe from the car.
Right.
I didn't feel that vibe from the car. I seen them, but I didn't feel that vibe from the car. So when they made the second left, I'm like, hold on, y'all, wait a minute. So when they made the left, they pulled up, and I was like, hey man, we drove all the way from Stockton to see Seminary because you say it so much in your music. They're like, and that's crazy that you really out here. Can we take some pictures with you? So she was driving, probably was her car. She probably the only one had a license. So she get out the car with them. I think it was like, probably like 6 people in the car total. They all took pictures or whatever, but not knowing on side the car, these.
They ready to go. Ready to.
So, you know, I mean, luckily it worked out like that. You get what I'm saying? It would have been innocent bystanders or whatever, but yeah, that was a moment that I really knew, like, okay, cool, like they fucking with me. And then just seeing different cars throughout Oakland, playing my music, not just in my neighborhood, you know, and then start going to shows and seeing like a line of people really out there for me, start packing out shows or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, this is serious.
Now, when you were coming up, there was no like really streaming platforms like it is now.
Yeah, nah.
So what did your hustle look like just marketing yourself?
Man, like that's how I got to where I'm at. I hustled everybody. So it was actual CDs, you know, flyers, word of mouth, posters. It was like out the trunk. It was way different, you know. Not the knock what's going on now, because you got to evolve and adapt. So, but back then it was like you really had to. It was open mic shows. It was, you know, it wasn't the Instagram or whatever. It was like what, really, it wasn't really too much of that, like the Facebook and the MySpace. But it really like had to be word of mouth to where it'd be like, hey man, somebody trying to book you for a show there. Somebody had to know somebody type. They really didn't have no contact like that unless they got your number off a flyer or whatever.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, so I'm up in the streaming era, so
Yeah.
I'm like, we got it kind of easy. Like, you know,
Yeah.
rappers ain't gotta go pass out CDs like
Yeah.
that no more. So if you could like just imagine having streaming platforms back in the day, how do you think that would have really changed things?
Even before me, I heard of the older guys that used to rap how things was different for them. Mm-hmm. Like how they used to record, like they used to take, like each bar used to be like one take, and it was like, I forgot the name of the thing, but like they recorded and they had to do the next line and they have to do the next line like that. So I guess everything's just, you know, developing, you know, through time, different times or whatever. But I feel like if everything was the same back then, I don't know, maybe we might have had more stars or more people breaking through, or it might have been a lot easier to be successful.
Right.
Because I feel like right now, it's so easy to get in contact with somebody through Instagram. So easy to promote something and go viral. You get what I'm saying? Than it was back then. Like I feel like it was harder work back then.
Do you, like, as a rapper now, do you feel like you kind of have to catch up with the speed of the newer rappers?
I don't gotta catch up. I'm tuned in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But maybe like some older rappers that's like been like out of it for a while, maybe they do. They might not be used to the Instagram posts or the streaming systems or whatever, how it works. So maybe they do, but I'm tuned into everything that's going in.
You know what, I could tell, because when I was reaching you, I saw you had a song with Uzi.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this man been rapping for this long, and he got a song with Uzi. You know,
Yeah.
that's like...
It's not too many artists I ain't really got a song with.
Uh-huh.
You know, like a lot of the rappers from like across the world, like different states or whatever that's in the streets, they rock with me tough. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I done been everywhere, from Houston, Atlanta, Detroit. You know what I'm saying? They love me. You know what I'm saying? Because they kind of like, I wouldn't say like kind of look up to me, but they seen you feel me? They seen where I came from, so it's easier to relate.
Right.
You can see where a person came from than just like, I feel like when you start at the top, you got to stay at the top. If you start at the bottom, you can work your way up to the top, and if you come back down, they still know you. But if you start up here and then come down, they don't know you down here. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't out there passing out the CDs, the flyers, the open mic shows, or the promotion in the streets type going on. You just started here. You just jumped off radio hit, and then you come down here. They're like, who is that guy? You know what I'm saying? They didn't see the growth.
I had a conversation with somebody about that, how artists, I don't want to say one hit wonders, but you know, when their first song takes off so crazy, it's like a lot of people don't know how to keep up that momentum when they...
Yeah, because once you make that hit, they already looking at you like, okay, he made one, can he do it again? It's so much pressure on you. And then it's like, can you do it again? You know, so it's like they already doubting you from the jump. But like I look at it like building a house. Like you got to build it from the ground up, the foundation. Like I said, you can start here, you can make it to the top, come back down, go back up. But I feel like if you start at the top, you got to stay there.
So what advice would you have for artists who are looking to go viral all the time and feel like that's gonna be their big break?
I don't really feel like that's gonna help you if you're trying to really promote the music. If you're trying to promote the antics and, you know, all the comedian shit and all that, then yeah. Like if you're trying to promote good music, like they gotta genuinely fuck with you for you to get that core fan base. Like they ain't really just gonna fuck with you just because of all the funny shit that you do. That's not gonna make them go stream the shit.
Right.
They gotta be quality. That's gonna make them go watch the shit, watch what you doing. Like, you know, it's hard to have people buy your music. Like it ain't easy for people to buy your music, especially where we come from, because like at the time being, the places that sold our music are in areas that we didn't want to go to, and that's the people that we rapping to. So it's an area called Berkeley, area called San Leandro. Those are like outskirts of Oakland, and the people that we rapping to, they don't really drive to the outskirts. They probably got a warrant, ain't got no L's. Got a gun on them, whatever situation may be, to where they ain't trying to be involved with the police. So you got to start making music to the people that are able to go to these different places and be comfortable, like the women or the kids, or even the people that got credit cards. Like, you know, niggas ain't having, at the time being, they ain't having no credit cards to go buy no music or whatever. And the women they the supporters. Like they the biggest supporters in the music industry, the women and the kids. Everybody raps, so it's like everything is competition. So why would I be listening to him? Like, or he might get in the car with a female, she listen to him and he mad. You know what I'm saying? So it's like we gotta support what support us. Right. Yeah.
Now, during that time when you were coming up, who was like the major artists in the Bay Area?
Keith the Sneak, Too Short, E40, The Delinquents, Richie Rich, Yuck Mouth, Seagram, Rappin' Rhyme. Like those are the guys that like did it before me, you know. And I salute them, like, you know what I'm saying, like, because they paved the way for me to be able to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, that's like during the hyphe movement, right?
Some of them was through the hyphe movement. Yeah, not all of them, but some of them was. Mac Dre, the Jacka. The list goes on, man. It's a lot of talent in the Bay Area that I feel like is overlooked, maybe due to the hyphe movement or due to they just didn't understand us. But everybody from the Bay Area wasn't a part of that.
Right.
Yeah, so.
So do you feel like people kind of box the Bay Area rappers and even the newer rappers into that hyphe movement?
No, I think when they think of that, the Bay, that's what they think of.
Yeah, that's what I meant, sorry.
Yeah, I believe that because that was the biggest movement of the Bay Area. And no disrespect to the movement, like I'm all for it. I salute whatever, you feel me, that's coming up out of there as long as it's positive. But everybody's not like that. So it's like, I done been around people to where they be like, oh, where you from? They be like, the Bay. I'd be like, no, Oakland. And they be like, oh, you get dumb and go retarded. I be like, huh? Like they said it totally backwards. You know what I'm saying? Just not knowing, or they just think it's a joke or it's funny due to, you know, the antics that was in the hyphe movement. So, you know, but like I said, I salute the movement or whatever, but I just never was a part of it.
Now, why do you think that people were so drawn to you and your music?
Like I said, I support what support me. So I start, like, I sit back and I pay attention to things. So early off, I'm like, okay, cool. I ain't about to keep rapping to these niggas. These niggas ain't supporting. I'm about to start rapping to these females. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to start making some good music and get these females on my side. You know what I'm saying? I got the streets already. I got the streets, I got the look, I got the money, I got the street cred. You know what I'm saying? Let me focus, let me see what's, like I pay attention. See me really, I don't really listen to too many underground artists. Mm-hmm. I listen to the majors because that's where I wanted to be at. So I studied it. I didn't, why I'm gonna keep listening to the same people in the same boat as me? This ain't where I wanna be, I wanna do bigger. So this what the major artists doing. Okay, this how they marketing, this how they promoting it. This what they do. They put the single out first and then they drop the video. Okay, then they do this before they put the album out. Like I sit back and study the game. So, like I said, a lot of the independent artists in the same boat as me wasn't doing it like that. So, and then plus, like I feel like when you're a rapper, you gotta have the whole package. You can't just rap good. Like it's bigger than just rapping good. Like you could be a trash rapper, but have the look, and that'll outweigh the rapping. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, okay, cool. I'm gonna work on the whole package.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when do you honestly feel like you got your big break when it came to people outside of your city knowing who you were? I mean, I wouldn't even say outside of your city, but outside of the Bay Area.
I don't even feel like I got a big break. I feel like I'm still independent grinding. I feel like I ain't where I want to be. It's certain things that I haven't done in the music industry, but as an independent artist, there's a lot that I have. But I mean, shit. I guess when I started getting booked outside of the Bay, so like I like really the Bay Area, like that's home. So they gonna want a home price. They gonna want, oh man, we went to school together. Oh man, look out for me. Oh man, your pops know my pops, or this and this, or you know what I'm saying. So when I go out of town, like I get the bag. Keep it real. Out of town, show more love than home. So, and I feel like that's just I feel like that come with any rapper. It's so many, like I said, once again, there's so many rappers that's home that rap, and they, like I said, everybody rap, what's gonna separate you from them, and a lot of them be in competition. Like I don't sit back and, I don't compete with nobody. Like I do me, like I ain't worried about what you doing, you get what I'm saying, I'm worried about me. I ain't focused on you, I'm focused on me. Like, you know what I'm saying, I'm focused on bettering myself, I'm focused on, bettering my label, my artists. I'm focused on, just keep grinding and staying away from the negatives, because that come with it though. Mm-hmm. You gotta be ready for the negative. Like, it ain't gonna be all positive. If everybody like you, something wrong. So if you ain't ready for hate, you ain't ready for success. I'm sure it's podcasters or bloggers that don't like y'all, you know what I'm saying? It comes with it.
Right.
It comes with it. Like they gonna always try to critique or have an opinion on what y'all doing or how they could do it better or this and this. Like opinions is like assholes. Everybody got one. So, but if you ain't got tough skin, then I feel like then the rap industry ain't for you.
Now, was there anybody that really took you under their wing and kind of showed you the ropes when it came to pursuing your music career?
No. Like I said, I studied like how the independent in the Bay Area did it, and like how the majors do it. Like I did that myself. Nobody sat me down. Like I was just saying the other day in the previous interview, like we didn't have the older cats that was rapping to tell us not to make diss songs, not to do this like that, not to do this, and that's gonna mess this up. We just did whatever we wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? Like we really just figured it out on our own. Yeah.
What would you say was like the biggest risk that you've had to take with your career?
The biggest risk I had to take with my career? Early stage, like I didn't have nobody funding me. And when you in the music industry, everything costs. If it's a video, if it's CDs, if it's an outfit for a show, posters, flyers, whatever it is. So at the time being, I was still in the streets heavy. I wasn't making money off my music yet. So I had to fund myself the best way I knew how. So I was still on the block, you know what I'm saying, but still taking risks, still catching cases, you know, trying to pursue the rap career. So like I feel like that was the biggest risk because I knew like if I would have went to jail again, I would have been going to the pen.
Oh, and I did want to ask you, but I don't know how to word this. I don't want it to be offensive.
Yeah.
But when I was reading up on you, I did see that, you know, you have caught some cases.
Yeah.
But from a man's standpoint, what would you say that, you know, being in and out of jail, how does it play a part on your mental?
Shit, if you're not strong, you're gonna break. Cause you know, jail's different. Like I said, I never been to the penitentiary before, but you know, I got a lot of homies that's locked up in the state and the feds or whatever, and we talk all the time and they tell me how it is. But from the time that I've done in the county or whatever, you know, shit, you gotta do what they say. You can't get up and go to like all the things that we do right now, like it's like taken for granted. We get in there, we can't walk to the refrigerator when we want to. We can't go fuck our bitch when we want to. We can't go count some money. Can't go get up and eat. You know what I'm saying? We on their time. So it kind of discipline you to be like, man, you know, when I get out, man, just even taking a breath of fresh air, you know what I'm saying? We are taking all that for granted. Because in there, you know, behind the walls, you can only go outside whenever they let you. So that's what we take for granted with that.
Wow. Now, touching back into your music career, how long would you say your hard work took for you to make it in the industry?
I don't feel like I'm in the industry.
Really?
Nah, I don't feel like I'm in the industry. I'm still independent. I've never signed a major deal. So I feel like that's what the industry is.
Right.
I never had like a breakout single that just been in the top 10 or 100 on the radio or Billboard. So like all this come from grinding independent. So I don't feel like I'm in the industry.
Every time that I researched you and I looked up an article, they always talked about your work ethic and how much music you make and how much music you have.
Yeah.
So at the top of your head, how much music do you think you've created over the years?
Over 100 CDs.
100 CDs?
Over. I dropped like 12 CDs in 1 year just to see if I could do it, like one every month. And the reason why, like some people have their own opinion. People say that's good, some people say it's bad. But it's up to you. What it look like to you? Like it paid off or it didn't. But It's like, I remember going to picking up my check from iTunes every month, and it was like $50. And I'm using this to pay my Metro bill. And as I put out more music, I remember going one day and I get a check for $5,000. So I'm like, oh, I'm about to keep putting out more music. Like, why would I not be putting out more music? Like, that's mean more money, right? So that's just how I looked at it. So.
Which CD would you say really caught the most buzz, though?
It's out of Funka Die, which was my first album in 2009. Trippin' for Life and Kill Zone. Those were like my 3 breakout albums. Yes.
And with your first breakout album, what was it that you really put into that one?
I feel like everybody's first album be their best album.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you got so much to prove and you don't want to fail. So, and then you be like, man, I don't really want to drop it because I don't think they gonna fuck with it. Like I don't want to fail. I don't want to shelf my shit. You get what I'm saying? You start feeling like, man, I don't know if they really in tune. So I remember I used to take my CDs to Dimples and Rasputin, Rat Bay, and they'll take them on consignment, like 50 to 100 CDs, and they'll call me if they sell. So it got to the point to where they was taking, give me 1,000 up front, give me 2,000 up front, give me 5,000. And I just come from working. So you think about it, like 5,000 CDs up front from an independent artist at one store, and it's like 2-3 stores, like that's good money. I'm about to drop another CD.
That's a lot.
Yeah, so like the independent game is a lot different where we at than the industry and the major labels, because it's like we don't have that there. We don't have any major labels in the Bay Area. We don't have too many artists that's getting signed or getting looked at or whatever. So it's like all we know is just grind.
Wow, so you would say like with the Bay Area artists, like it just coming from the Bay and with it not being too many like industry outlets, y'all really gotta get it out the mud.
You gotta work, yeah, you gotta get out the mud, you gotta work, that's the only way. And then you got the, like I said, you got the competition, so that's where the hate comes from. You know, I mean, that come with it. But at the end of the day, you gotta put that to the side and stay focused. You gotta stay focused and stay grinding, stay consistent.
Now your catalog when it comes to features is long. Like you done worked with Rick Ross, 2 Chainz, Gucci Mane, Uzi, Sauce Walka, that's my favorite. But Sauce Walka, how were you really able to expand your network like that?
That's why I go back to what I was saying, like in those different cities and states, like the streets dudes rock with me, like, cause they could relate, cause they seen the grind or whatever. So Walk was crazy. Walk was just at my house, like probably like last week. We got like three new records we just did. Shit, we could relate. We related from Houston to Oakland. Ross, I did a song called Wingstop. He ended up hearing about it, reaching out, jumped on the song, did the video. You know what I'm saying? So that's just how it worked. Like, you put it out there, hopefully they catch it. Like, I done had so many good records that I felt like could have took me to the next level, and they slept on. And I done had some records that I didn't have that much faith in, and they was big, you know, so. But as long as you working, something gonna catch.
Now, I always find it interesting, because I'm from Texas, so Texas and the Bay Area, they got this dynamic, and I've always
you
wondered.
From Houston?
No, I'm from Dallas.
Okay, yeah.
Well, actually, let me be specific, because my city gonna hear this and they gonna be like, I'm from Arlington.
Okay. Shout out Arlington, shout out Dallas. I done work with Yellow Beezy out of Dallas, Trap Boy Freddie.
Yep.
I done work with, I just left from Dallas not too long ago.
Now, I've always wanted to know, what is the history with the Bay Area's dynamic with Texas?
With the syrup, I would say this. I would say the new age. I would say the new age. It would be the syrup. I really can't speak on
Like
back then because I don't really know, but I know the syrup. Like, maybe the women. Yeah.
Wow. So the syrup, was it like once, like, you know, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it. I guess I'm trying to figure out, like, with the syrup.
No, because we sip syrup heavy.
Okay.
Yeah, in Oakland, you know, and you know, Texas, that's what they known for.
We be having it.
Yeah, so, you know, and it's a lot of bosses from the Bay Area that have been in Texas and worked with, you know, some of the top Texas elite. I didn't work with some of them. I just did some with like Lil Flip and Slim Thug, you know what I'm saying? These are rappers that I listened to as a kid growing up back in the day. Like, I would never think I'd be doing a song with them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So at the time being, like, I'm just a kid listening to them, like paying attention to it. Like, I've always been into music. Like, I always watch videos and listen to music and stuff like that, but I didn't never imagine being a rapper at the time being. But like I said, it's a lot of older bosses from the Bay Area that moved around a lot of these cities and states, you know, and paved the way for other artists. So I believe that could be one of the things also.
And I noticed that you also worked with Detroit artists as well.
Yeah.
So what would you say is that dynamic with the Bay Area and Detroit?
Same thing, the syrup too. And they be like cousins. And like I said, the bigger artists from the Bay, like Foldy and Be Legit, like they was heavy out there in Detroit. Yuck Mouth, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like what I'm doing right now for the younger artists. I mean, that's coming up out the Bay. We paving the way. If it's through Atlanta, if it's through Chicago, if it's through Detroit, if it's through Miami, wherever, like, okay, yeah, we know Philthy, yeah, we rock with y'all. You know what I'm saying? So, same thing.
Now, when it comes to Detroit, I do find that a lot of people compare the music style with the Bay Area. Of
course.
So what would you say is like the difference between the two for people who don't know how to distinguish that?
What's the difference between the two? I mean, some Bay Area artists just rap just strictly like Detroit artists, so you wouldn't be able to tell. And then some Bay Area artists, they still hyphy, part of the hyphy movement. And some Bay Area artists is just, like they have singers, street artists, whatever. But I mean, I feel like if you like really tapped into that market, like if you from the Bay or you from Detroit, you would know the difference. You would know the difference. Because a Detroit artist probably could tell like he from the Bay. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Now, I was watching one of your interviews, and I think they were kind of touching on, like, you know, just moving cautious as a rapper.
Yeah.
And one thing that you said that really stuck out to me, which was you said that your enemy could book your show.
I mean, yeah, when you're a rapper, like, rapper is one of the hardest jobs to do, like, especially if you coming from the street, especially if you, you know, got a lot going on in the street or whatever. Yeah, I mean, it's possible. Like, not even just booking for a show, even just pulling up to the show. Like, if you got a show and the address is on the flyer,
right?
And you into it with somebody, like, if they looking for you that hard, they could easily pull up. But you just got to be on point and be prepared for all that, even if they do or don't, because you know what you got going on. You can't just get lost in this rap shit. Like the street shit come with it, especially if you got like a past. So, I mean, it's possible. If a person wants you that bad, anything's possible.
Right.
Yeah. I remember Jim Jones told me one day that he was in Miami and they got into it with BMF, but they didn't know. They didn't know something like they was in the club and Cam had on the pink mink or whatever, and they was above them and they was pouring champagne on them. Something happened outside and they chased somebody with something, and then Meech ended up booking Jim for a show. And Jim come in the show with his security, and they bring him up to where Meech was at, and Meech tell Jim to tell his security to leave. And it was like, if you want to make it home, tell him to leave. And he told him to leave, and Jim was just there by himself the whole thing, but Meech was like, man, we're gonna put that to the side. Like, come party with me, man. We ain't on that. We getting money.
Wow.
You get what I'm saying? So, you know, I'm just saying that, what if it was a different way around? He wouldn't even knew till he got in here.
And that's why I brought it up, because I have never thought about that. And I'm like, oh, dang, somebody really could book. They rap, like a rapper that they beefing with, pay them money, and then.
They wouldn't even know. I have somebody else who do it, different LLC, booking company, boop, bop, bam. Okay, what you want for your deposit? Here you go. Get you there in the club, and then what? You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's just to say, like, you gotta move right, especially if you're coming from the streets or if you got ties in the streets that's going on with this industry, because once you get too comfortable, just not even just with that, just playing different studios, doing different, artist could book you for a verse and it'd be something different. A promoter could book you and double back on your room when you at the club. Like, you gotta pay attention to all type of different things that, you know, that could put you in a fucked up situation.
Now, with you being in the game for so long, what would you say are some smart ways that rappers need to move nowadays?
For one, you need to move with some niggas that really give a fuck about you, because you know, a lot of people could be bought. I wouldn't recommend moving with niggas that you don't really know. A lot of these niggas, they move with niggas that they paying or being extorted by. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, we love you, we fuck with you, we gonna die for you, this and this, but they really got their hand out. Like, that ain't me. That ain't none of my niggas. Like, I don't fuck with it like that. So, like, if it ain't genuine, hey, I'll show up by myself. I know I got myself. You know what I'm saying? If I got to question you, like, if I got to, like, with me, you get one try with me. Just to be 100, you get one try with me. Like, in this lifestyle, you can't 2-3 tries, you'll be out of here. You know what I'm saying? You get one try with me. Like, you know what this is, you know what I'm saying? If this don't fit, then we just gonna go our separate ways. But you only get one try with me. Like, I done cut family members off, close friends, niggas from my neighborhood, old rap, whatever. Like, cause if I can't leave my car keys around you, or some money, or my jewelry, or whatever it is, then we don't even need to be around each other.
And that's facts.
Yeah.
Now, outside of rapping, you are a whole entrepreneur.
Yeah.
We got to talk about this hair salon.
Oh, yeah.
Royal Hair Salon. Talk
Royalty,
to us.
yeah. I don't even
Royalty
keep it real. I
side.
don't even got royalty no more. I gave it to my godmother. When the pandemic hit, you know, I had took a loss on royalty and on I had a clothing store too called Hood Rich. I think it was just wrong timing. I closed both of them. Well, I closed Hood Rich down. I just got it on the website, and then royalty I gave it to my godmother. It was really her dream, you know, and I opened it up for her, whatever. But I just parted ways with it.
And are you even, if I'm not mistaken, are you even into dog breeding too?
Yes.
Okay, so talk
Now, that's
to
what I
us.
do.
Now, talk
That's
to
what
us
I
about
do.
that. You know what? I've been seeing people being like in their feelings right now because you know the dog's been looking a little swole.
Yeah.
They've been looking real swole lately, so they're like, this is just inhumane.
I mean, you gotta know what you buying. You gotta know what you into. Like I deal with the exotic English bulldogs. So like that's what I'm. My passion is right now. That's what I do every day. And that's where like a lot of the money come from. That's lucrative. You know what I'm saying? The puppies can go from anywhere from, depends on from 5 to 7,500 to 10 to 20,000. It all just depends on what it is. But it's
Wait,
good money.
you said 20,000?
Yeah. It can go from 5,000 to 7,500.
What's the 20,000 dogs?
A Merle. Yeah. It depends on like the father. Like I can really put taxes on it just because it's coming from me, but I try not to. I try to keep it, you know, because a lot of people don't got no more money no more after the EDD and the PPPs and all that stuff. But that's where a lot of the new breeders started to come into. They're like, okay, we got this money, we got to do some type of business. And they thinking buying a dog is just a business and it's just that easy. You don't know about all these different things you got to do to breed these dogs and have these litters and make sure they got their shots and these progesterone numbers for the dog to be, you know, at the right time to breed. And then if you lose the whole litter, you sick because now you done lost all your money thinking you about to make 100,000. It's crazy stuff, you know. So you know how black people is, man. You know what I'm saying? They got a little money. I'm gonna buy a dog and start a business. You know what I'm saying? It's deep, it's a lot deeper than that.
With the dog breeding.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't even think that it'll be as deep as, you know, you're explaining it.
Yeah, it's serious. Like it's everything with the dog breeding is perfect timing. It's perfect timing.
And then you said like you could you lose a batch or something like that?
Yeah, you can lose a litter. It depends on if one, you're not taking care of the dog. She's not getting the proper vitamins and proper food that she's supposed to be once you bred her, or she can have something wrong with her, you know. It could be whatever. I done lost a whole litter before a few times.
Really?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So, you know, it comes with the game. You know what I'm saying. Like, how you a boss if you never took a loss? You got to know how to shake back.
Now, before we get into your current music, I gotta touch on Water Leak because
You like that song, huh?
I do. You know, I'm a little youngin', so I'm like, ooh, anything Uzi. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
period.
That song's so old.
It's
That's crazy.
so hard though. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a little late. I'm sorry. But just if you could talk to us about how that single even came about.
My boy Scheme from LA. Okay, he linked me with Uzi. I think they were signed to Generation Now, or Generation Next, whatever it's called. And then Offset came to the crib in Vegas one day. He recorded himself, put the hook on there. And then I'm like, damn, who else I need to put on here?
I know it was Offset, Sauce
No,
Walka.
I'm saying I was thinking to myself, like, who else I need to put on here? I'm like, man, I need to put somebody else on here. Because Offset was just on the hook. So I'm like, bam, I sent the Walk. And then Walk put the verse on there. And that's just how it happened. We never shot the video or nothing because we was working on the clearances for everything or whatever. So, but yeah.
And you dropped, you dropped your recent single, King of Oakland.
Yeah,
So we gotta talk about that title.
okay. What you want to talk about?
I wanna
That title right there got a lot of people mad.
No,
right
so with the title, what made you want to title it King of Oakland and what was the responses that you've been getting from that?
I got good responses and bad responses. You know, like I said, you gotta take the good with the bad. But the reason why I had dropped that, because you know, we all kings, we all queens. You feel me? So I felt like, you know, that's where I'm at with it. You know, and it did what it was supposed to do. It did what it was supposed to. It did what it was supposed to do. Like, if it ruffled your feather, it did what it was supposed to do. You get what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like we know who doing what. We know who top tier. We know who the elite. We know who the big dog. We know who, you feel me, really having this shit. We know who really making the city look good. You get what I'm saying? We know who really doing for the city. You get what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, you can have that title if you feel like you want it, but that doesn't mean that it fits you. You get what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people gonna have something to say, and it come with it. So, but a lot of people that feel like that title fits them, they're not respectable rivals. You know, and also, I'm not saying other people are not kings. I'm not shitting on nobody. I'm not saying, you feel me, it's just me. I'm from seminary. You know what I'm saying? I can be a king over there. King share the throne. Like we sharing the porch. He from somewhere else in East Oakland. He could be a king where he from. So, you know, just however you take it, however you want to look at it. But you know the haters, they gonna always take it how they feel, whatever. But we know who doing what and who ain't. You know what I'm saying? And been doing it for the longest. And you know, and who really, you know what I'm saying? Like one of them dudes. So.
Now, if I'm not mistaken, please correct me if I'm wrong. But was there like a verses that was supposed to be in the works with you and Mr. Fab?
We did it.
Y'all did it?
Yeah.
Oh shit. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we did it. We did it last week. I mean, a couple of days ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So what was your thoughts on that?
What was my thoughts on it? Mm-hmm. I feel like it was big for the city.
Right.
You know, if everybody wins, nobody loses. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Fab. You know what I'm saying? He put it together. Shout out to my boy Illy, Bands Before Riches. He the one who was behind it. He locked up right now. And shit. We was just in the city for like 4 days. Yeah. We had an after party. Turned up afterwards. You know what I'm saying? I shot a video, another song off the album. You shot a video. Ross shot a video. We was working. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I feel like it was good. Wasn't no problems, wasn't no fights, wasn't no arguing, wasn't no shootings, wasn't no rivalries, no nothing. We showed up and showed out. Mm-hmm.
Now we got to talk about your label, Funk or Die ENT. So talk to us a little bit about that.
What you want to know? It's like 10, 12 artists on there right now.
10. We got to know about the artists, why you chose them, the whole dynamic, the purpose of the label, all of that.
Shit, Bang, he one artist on there. He from the Dubs in East Oakland. He doing his thing right now. And we got Roscoe, and we got Tuda, we got Skinny, we got Trey, we got Steve, we got Avy, we got Wop, we got Loso, we got J Money. Who else? I leave some money out. We got Visa.
You got a roster on you.
We got Debo. We got Dollar Dame. We got Pretty Boy. Too many. Yeah. So FOD, that's a saying from my neighborhood. So that's the saying that been around before me. You know what I'm saying? Just from the neighborhood. Like it's certain slogans for different neighborhoods in Oakland. So I just decided to, and also that was the name of my first album. Mm-hmm. So when I decided to do the label, it was the young niggas in the hood that was already pushing that. So I'm like, all right, shit, we're gonna turn it up. We're gonna turn it up, cool. And then ever since then, that's what I just been pushing. And you know, we took it from the hood and made it global. So, like I said, I always want bigger and better. Always want to do bigger things. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we doing our thing. I've been trying to drop like tapes from different artists on the label, like every month, like the old No Limit, like we working, we putting shit out.
You instilling that same work ethic that you had into your artists.
Yeah, 'cause I tell them, like, okay, cool, bang, come to the label. We ain't coming to the label to just do a single or do an album. I gotta know that you really take this serious. I gotta know that you, you know, really believe, 'cause I can't want it more than you. You know what I'm saying? I can lead you down the right path, and I can't show you how to be a superstar overnight. That didn't happen for me. I can show you how to work though and be a household name and travel and get booked for these shows and put out good music and, you know, different things like that. So, you know, like the rapping come, like you get stagnated, you get sidetracked.
Right.
And today you might want to rap, tomorrow you might not want to. So it's like, okay, cool, before I invest, before I waste my time, my energy, my money, whatever, I want to make sure this is what you want to do. And if you don't want to do this, just let me know. But you got to work. Like, you ain't going to get paid if you late for work. You ain't going to hire nobody that ain't going to come work. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all I know how to do is work. So that's what I'm going to give to you. Like, the music going to come. If you know how to rap good, okay, cool. I didn't know how to rap good. I worked them niggas. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
That's just, then, okay, cool. Then you got the hood behind you. That's a plus.
Right.
Then you got the look. Then you got the stage presence. All that's extra. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, rapping is just part of being a rapper. You got to be able to do this. You got to do press. You got to do videos. You got to do a whole lot more than just rapping.
Now, speaking of the music, you just released a project this month called Motivational Purposes.
Yeah.
Talk to us about that project and what it means to you.
It came out on my birthday, January 30th. I just feel like every time I drop something is, you know, I'm elevating, I'm growing. You know what I'm saying? I'm growing. So it's like, I don't want to be rapping about the same shit. You might hear some shit still up in there because I must always be who I am. But if we ain't elevating, we ain't growing, we ain't doing something right. You know, a wise man change. So if that ain't what I'm doing, then I'm just at a standstill. So I feel like, man, like, and I got a lot of kids and artists home that look up to me. So I'm trying to motivate. If I post this car on the gram, it's not to shit on nobody, it's to motivate. You know what I'm saying? If I buy my artist a Rolex, it's not to shit on the next, it's to motivate.
Right.
Okay, cool. Even if it's my other, if I'm buy him a Rolex today, I'm not trying to shit on my other artist. I'm showing he working, get to work, and it can happen for you too. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm on. I've just been on some real positive shit lately because, you know, even with my label, Funk or Die, like, that didn't help me, that hurt me. Like I said, because that was a sin from my neighborhood. So where I'm from, the police actually look at that a certain way. You know what I'm saying? And feel like that promotes negativity. But they don't say nothing about all the turkey drives or the backpack drives or all the things that I positive I do. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we on. Like, I even be like, when people ask me what it mean, I be switching up. I be like, follow our dreams.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just so they
Yeah.
don't think negative. You know what I'm saying? Because some people are one-track minded.
I love the charity work too. I think
Yeah.
that's so dope that you are giving back to your
Yeah.
neighborhood and stuff.
You're supposed to, especially if that's where you came from.
Right.
You're supposed to, because growing up, when I was doing that, I feel like I was taking. I'm taking, so now I'm giving back. You know what I'm saying? I could have been taken from the hood if it was on the block selling dope or robbing or stealing or breaking in the car or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So now, giving back. I done did Mother Day events. I do hood days and free food, clothes, all type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of other stuff that I do behind closed doors that people don't know about. So, and I'm not here to do it to brag about it or throw it in your face though. But you know, like I said, when I got in position to do it, when I got in position to do it, before I got in position to do it, I always said I wanted to. When I got in position, I always say, okay, cool. When I'm able to do this, that's what I want to do. So that's what I did.
Now, what did you say is next for you for this year?
Next for me for this year, I'm working on deluxe for the album right now. I got Sauce Walka on there. I'm probably gonna put like either 4 to 6 more songs on the album. We got Bang album coming, we got Tuda album coming, we got the whole label coming. Skinny dropping, Young AV dropping, Roscoe dropping. We just pushing, we pushing. So that's all I'm focused on right now.
Right.
I'm focused on the label, focus on the artist, focus on everybody staying on the right path and keep working. Yeah.
And before we wrap up, do you have any last words or shout outs?
Shout out to everybody that's been rocking with me over a decade, putting out good music from state to state. I appreciate the love, you know what I'm saying? It's been a journey. It's been a journey, and sometimes I'll be not focused and I get back focused or whatever, but I'm a multitasker. So like I'm always working every day. I tell them all the time, like 365, you gotta be doing something musically to be successful. Like if it's an interview, if it's shooting a video, if it's putting out a single, if it's getting artwork done, like every day you gotta be doing something musically. And I feel like that's the only way you're gonna be successful.
And that's real.
Yeah.
That's real.
Murder Dubs, 35th High Street, Seminary, 6985 up to Stone City.